What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I really appreciate you checking into this episode. We are out in Boulder City, Nevada, getting ready to go fishing at Lake Mead. And what I want to do right now is take some time and show you some of the awesome gear that I've made with my Dual Molds. Dual Molds came through huge in this tournament and is supporting me greatly for this event. So I want to take some time and show you guys what I made and what I'm going to be using out here for this trip that I made using my Dual Molds. So the first thing I'm going to show you guys is my jig box, and all these jigs in this box were made using my Dual Molds. Most of the jigs in the box have skirts on them that I made myself. There's a few jigs in there that I made with 6 Sense skirts that you can pre-buy. I just thought 6 Sense had some pretty cool jig skirts available, so I bought some of those and put them on the jigs I made using my Dual Molds. So what I want to show you guys right now is one of the jigs that I made with the 6 Sense skirt on it, and it's your standard football head. And I really like this green pumpkin and purple skirt. I really think the colors are really good. I am going to trim up this skirt and probably the weed guard just a little bit from what it is in this picture, but not by much. I just want to make it a little bit more compact, and I want that weed guard to be a little bit weaker, I guess, for lack of a better term. And then the other one is my stand-up football jig, which is right here. As you can see, it's got that flat side on the head of it, and this is my favorite jig color right here, black and brown. It's just a perfect crawdad imitation, perfect color jig. You can't go wrong with brown jigs, and my all-time favorite. Okay, so the next box that we got is, obviously you can see my drop shot sinkers. I'm really hoping I have enough drop shot sinkers for the trip. I think I should, but I might end up buying some more because I ran out of swivels before I could get any more made for myself. The next thing you can see is I got some Ned heads. These ones are 1/8 ounce. We got 3/16 right here, and we got our 1/4 ounce Ned heads right here. I've also got more Ned rigs. These Ned rigs right here have 2/0 hooks in them. I wanted to try something a little bit different and maybe put a little bit bigger bait. So I got some of these 2/0 hooks that I'm going to be messing around with a little bit. And then we got some darter heads right here. I really like these darter heads. They're some of my favorite. I make them myself. I got more of these darter heads right there. And then we got some other little bit different style swim bait jig heads right there. A little bit bigger swim bait can go on there. Throw them on a casting rod rather than a spinning rod. Some 1/2 ounce ones right here. I like those ones a lot as well. And then here's something that I really like to throw out in the desert lakes. 1/4 ounce football head jigs with no weed guard. I like to put a Yamamoto hula grub on there. It's one of my favorite things. I started throwing that a lot at Lake Havasu. Caught some decent fish on that. So we'll see if it's gonna work out here at Lake Mead. So the next box we're gonna look in is my spinnerbait box, and I'm really happy with how these spinnerbaits turned out. I've actually already caught fish on this style of spinnerbait that I made. I've done past videos with these spinnerbaits in particular to explain how I make them, what size wire I'm using, the skirts, everything. So if you want more details on that, make sure to go check out those spinnerbait videos. You can see me catch fish on these spinnerbaits. I caught a couple fish on these spinnerbaits when I was actually here at Lake Mead earlier this year. But enough talking about that. Let me show you these baits. So that's my spinnerbait box. Every single one of these is made using my Dual Molds, and I'm really happy with how they turned out. Let's pull a couple of these out. This is a 1/2 ounce one. As you can see, it's got that chartreuse on the bottom, little salt and pepper and white skirt. Just a raw, unpainted lead head. And then as you can see, the red beads and those gold blades on it. And then I also have 3/8 ounce spinnerbaits here too. And you can see these have the gold beads on them with the gold blades. The only reason these ones have the gold beads on it rather than the red is because I ran out of red, and it was easier for me to get these gold ones. So I'll be throwing both of these baits. They should work just the same, even with the different color beads on them. But pretty excited to catch some fish using these blades. So some of the next set of gear that you're gonna see, you might have seen in past videos, and these colors that I made up myself are pretty good colors, I think. I've caught fish on both of the colors that I'm gonna show you guys here, whether it's on baits I've made myself or baits that I've tried replicating myself. And like I said, all this stuff's been made in my do-it molds, and I'm really happy with how everything turned out. Hopefully when I get out on the water starting tomorrow, I start catching fish on all this stuff, and all that hard work paid off. Okay, so right here we got some Ned heads and some darter heads. Some of the darter heads you guys saw in the previous couple of clips had 2/0 hooks in it. Same idea as the Ned heads, trying to use a little bit bigger swim baits, just get a little bit bigger hook in there. And now we're on some of the plastics that I poured. Those are 4.5-inch El Gaisano worms. Right here we got 6-inch El Gaisano worms, and then the 4.5-inch right here in that different color. We got some Ned baits right here, a little green pumpkin brown. And then we got more Ned baits right here, green pumpkin with some purple laminates. And then kind of the same thing here with these worms right here. These are the 6-inch El Gaisanos. And then we just got some regular green pumpkin with some black and purple flake. Not a laminate, just a regular single color Ned worm. So as you can see, I got a lot of tackle in the boat that's going out for this tournament here at Lake Mead. It's the One Bass US Open. We're fishing for over $100,000 in cash, and then a $64,000 boat. So the total prize package is valued at $164,000. There's gonna be 256 boats in this tournament. Biggest tournament I've ever fished, biggest prize package I've ever fished for. Hopefully I end up having a good tournament. Really excited to get practice going starting tomorrow. Can't wait to get these baits that I just showed you wet, catch some fish on them. I don't know about you, but I'm confident that these baits are gonna work, that they're gonna catch fish, from the spinner baits to the plastics. Already caught fish on the Ned rigs, already caught fish on those swim bait jig heads, already caught fish on the darter heads in the past. Caught fish on the spinner baits, caught fish on these worms, so I see no reason why this stuff's not going to work out here at Lake Mead. But we're going to find out in practice. Based on my experience already using these baits that I made with my do-it molds, you guys can make these types of baits yourself. Go out, catch fish on baits you've made yourself. I think it's a really fun thing to do. It can save you money in the long run if it's something that you do for an extended period of time, but it's also just satisfying and gratifying to make something up yourself, come up with your own custom colors, come up with your own custom baits, and catch fish on them yourselves. So check out doitmolds.com and check out the vast array of equipment that you can get from them, from spinner baits to sinkers to plastics to jigs to all kinds of different stuff on their website. Go check it out. Obviously, if you have any questions, you can feel free to shoot them down in the comments or contact me personally and ask me anything about making your own baits. I've been doing it for a while now. I did it a long time ago. Definitely gotten more heavily into it more recently, but I hope you enjoyed checking out all these baits I made using my do-it molds that I'm going to be using out here at Lake Mead in the next couple weeks for this big tournament out here. But I hope you enjoyed today's video. I really hope you subscribe to my channel, and I hope you follow along for all the other content I have coming your way out here at Lake Mead.